So it's the 5th of June 2012 and I'm here in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada to witness the transit of Venus. Now there are hundreds of people who have gathered here at the campus at Waterloo to witness the event. And what we're preparing to see today is Venus passing in front of the Sun. Now the last time this happened was 8 years ago, but why there is significant importance to the event today is that this is the last time we will be able to see Venus pass in front of the Sun until 2117. So it's quite an important event.
So why don't we see this every 8-year cycle as opposed to 8 years apart and then 100 plus years apart? So what happens is you need two things to happen. A, the Earth and Venus have to line up in their orbit. So that happens fairly frequently. You have the Sun, Venus, and the Earth, and that happens fairly frequently. But you also need the orbital planes to line up, so to speak. So Venus's orbit is actually inclined quite a bit relative to the Earth. So if you imagine that these blue glasses are the Earth's orbit, these white glasses represent the plane of Venus's orbit, it's actually tilted. So Earth goes along like this, Venus goes along kind of like that. If they line up here, then you get a transit. And the time it takes them to line up here, and then go to over here, takes 8 years. And by that time, the locations of where they meet up don't change enough to make it go off the plane's intersection. But after that, the next 8-year cycle, they actually line up a little bit off that intersection point. And it's going to take more than 100 years for that meetup point to then reach again where the planes intersect. And that's why you have a pair of 8 years and then not again for more than 100 years.
The transit of Venus has a long history in astronomy. Traditionally, it's an incredibly important event because it was one of the first ways that people learned how big the solar system actually was. And it was of such significance in early times that explorers were sent across the world to observe it from different locations, including Captain Cook, who as a byproduct discovered Hawaii, Australia, and a few other places in the Pacific.
So the university has put on this event and there's been a great lecture explaining exactly the history of the transit of Venus, as well as astronomers who have studied the event of the passing of Venus in front of the Sun over the years.
I hope that it will encourage people to look at their sky at night and think about the stars, because we've forgotten about the stars. 100 years ago, we didn't have street lights, and when you went out of your house at night, it was dark and you could see the sky, and I'd like people to go back to learning more about the sky.
Yes. Now it's really important whenever you're looking at the Sun not to look at it directly, so they're handing out these really awesomely cool shades. They're UV protected, to which you can actually look directly at the Sun and see Venus pass in front of it. There's also the opportunity to look through telescopes. There's people who've brought their own specialized binoculars, and everybody's here just having a really great time. This has been a fantastic event. I would really recommend that if you ever get the chance to see an eclipse or shooting stars of any type, anything to do with space, go and do it. Find out where your local observatory is and make the most of it, because this is something you don't get to see every day.